Welcome back inside the Tennessee Ice Pavilion. The Rams lead the Orange 1-0 here on senior night at the Tennessee Family Ice Pavilion on the campus of Syracuse University. Alongside Jackson Cowan, I'm Caleb Spinner. A lot of things to like if you're the Orange in that second period, but the biggest thing you don't like is that scoreboard. Jake McKinnon picks it up, tries to work one in towards Spano a few seconds into the frame. Spano able to deny him, plus McKinnon put it away from him, not quite on net. The Rams able to move it in back with Shane Mulhern. Loose puck in the far corner, but the Rams right now ahead on the scoreboard in a game where it's been very hard for either team to beat the netminders.
Only 30 total shots as well. This whole weekend, not a ton of shots. I think Syracuse had 20 yesterday. Rhode Island had 23. So for both these teams, trying to get pucks to the net has been a challenge. And for the Orange, down a goal, you need to get as many pucks there as you can. And you need to get bodies there as well.
Alvers out of the zone, up ahead to Sam Hutchinson, the captain, working through the near circle. Turned one in towards Burgess. Simorov left it for Burgess. Thought it was going to go 5-hole instead. Burgess able to close his legs just in time.
Nice work by Jack Drohan defensively there. Just not even looking at the puck. Sam Hutchinson kind of put it through the triangle under a stick between his skates. Drohan just steps up, takes the body, lets his goaltender deal with the puck.
1 minute into this third period. Azolowski loses the faceoff, but Syracuse able to keep the attack alive. Jack Wren works it in through the circle, back around across the ice to Brendan Duffy. Duffy up towards the top of the zone towards Chesner before taking it back onto his stick. Williams trying to play defense to keep Bell from moving out on the attack. He does not. And here come the Rams in front, and they score! Spano late reacting. And it looks like Kevin Knassett has goal number 2 of the day.
Nice little play by Knassett, just trailing the play. Gets the pass from the corner, one times it, no hesitation, beats Spano. We saw the 2-on-1 earlier for the Orange. You get a look at the celebration. The Rams excited about that one, up close and personal, but the Rams came right out, had a 2-on-1, probably 10 seconds into this game, get another opportunity there on a partial odd man rush. Knassett going hard to the net, gets rewarded.
Kevin Knassett has points in 4 of his last 5 games, now 5 of his last 6. That includes an assist last night. Over those 5 games, it was a goal and 5 assists for 6 total points. Now add 2 goals onto that for 8 total points. He has been on a heater, to say the least, and peaking at the right time as his team gets ready for the postseason next weekend.
That whole line peaking at the right time, all 3 of them now with points in every single goal. Knassett has the 2 goals, the other 2, Lockwood had a couple goals yesterday, and then Cordero as well. They both have 2 assists in this one, so that whole line really starting to gel right now.
Senior night tonight for the Orange, but Knassett celebrated senior night last weekend when the Rams hosted IUP. Got 2 wins over that series, both of them by a 6-2 final. 17.5 minutes to play here in regulation. Gaffney ahead to Alvers. Alvers walks it into the near circle, looking for a centering feed. He fires one between the circles, but it's blocked off of traffic. A long shot turned in with power from Skolnick. Rebound kept alive by Von Tersch, who skates out to the neutral zone, adjusts his sweater, and takes a breather before the Rams come out to counter. Mulhern had trouble handling between the blue lines, fires it in towards Syracuse ice, just getting it deep where somebody else could play it. Instead, that somebody else is Gaffney for the Orange. Gaffney moves it over towards Hutchinson. He wasn't able to collect it enough to put a shot on. Gaffney back in front of the circle. He lost it right in front of the crease. But the Orange able to keep the chance alive. A shot off a shin pad in front from the Rams defense. Rebound trickles out towards Alvers. Alvers sends it far corner. He was looking to get Solt, who was coming off the bench. Instead, mistimes that one. Off target on his shot is Williams. Williams had a goal this season technically. It was in the preseason game against Clarkson, the second one of those 2 against the D2 ACHA club. So ACHA officially counts it in the conference, but he's somebody the first to tell you that, no, I don't count that.
Got to get a regular season goal for sure. But the key to that last Orange opportunity, Brock Albers, and one of the first times the Orange have done it all game long, he stretched the ice, got to the red line. The puck didn't get to him, but it forces the Rhode Island defenders to kind of back off. The defense for Syracuse had time to create a breakout. Next thing you know, it's on the stick of Cam Gaffney, 3-on-2. Here come the Orange.
Emery out of his own zone, works it through no man's land, and then fires it with his backhand into the corner, goes chasing the rebound. It was picked up and then worked back around towards this near side, towards Kevin Knassett. Colin Beisel in a few times on these plays from the Rams as they get a couple opportunities in towards Spano. They put one home early in this period, but he has been somebody whose name we haven't said aloud, but he has been all over this game for Rhode Island. Thomas looking for somewhere to go, decides to put it towards Cato. Cato then fired it into the blue paint towards Wren. Wren was not able to beat the defense. Under 15 minutes to play in the third period. Syracuse running out of time to overcome this 2-goal deficit against Rhode Island. Wanting to end their final game at home on a high note. Not to mention avoid a series sweep this weekend after losing game 1 yesterday, 5-2. Skolnick picks it up in his own end. Works it out towards the point. Duffy gloves it over to Vasilevsky. And we'll get a face-off coming in the Syracuse end. Looked like maybe a high sticking warning to send this back down towards orange ice.
Caleb, I think it was a hand pass. Brendan Duffy right down there. Tried to catch it, just couldn't field it cleanly. Bounced to Evan Vasilevsky in the hand pass. But for the Orange, just continue to chip away. I don't think they have any shots. Maybe one shot, correction. They had 15 shots, only one shot in the first 6 minutes. Rhode Island doing a great job keeping everything to the outside, really shutting it down. They're taking away time and space.
Corey Szabo won the faceoff, but the Orange take control. Duffy to Vasilevsky legally this time. No hand involved on that one, just sticks. Vasilevsky puts it high at the crossbar. Skolnick wraps it around the back half wall, past Burgess, who thought about playing it out of his net. Wren still pressuring into the far corner. He's the only white sweater below the circles. Pressured by 5 blue ones as his Syracuse teammates were making a change. The breakout from URI. The captain, Jonathan Shaw, dumps it in and heads over to his bench. Delayed penalty coming against the Rams. And it looks like maybe Shaw is going to pick up a slash. Actually, it'll be Owen Hall headed to the box. Got his stick right across the arms of an Orange player in front. He'll sit for 2.
Going to the bench, I believe he was battling a bit with Brendan Duffy as the two kind of skated off, just gave him a little bit of a whack there. Play was probably 100 feet away from where the penalty happened. Back official sees it. The Orange back on the power play.
Off the face-off to start this power play, Connor Chesner. Over to his left, Hutchinson takes it back to Chesner, back to Hutchinson. Puts it low below the red line towards Emery. Emery back to the captain on the far side. Pressured, has to work it back down low to Emery. Off target on his feet. Emery still had the loose puck for a moment, and the Rams get it clear. 30 seconds into this power play, Spano plays it onto the stick of Hutchinson. Hutchinson puts on the break in the near circle, works it far side towards Jack Wren, who works it up the half wall. A wraparound, gets all the way to the point and then cleared out off the backhand from Kevin Knassett. Knassett has both of the Rams' goals and have URI ahead of Syracuse 2-0. 12:45 to go in the third period. 1:08 to go on the power play for Syracuse. Chesner works it in with his backhand behind Burgess in the goal. Drop pass to Jack Wren. Wren works it low towards Emery. Emery, or rather Duffy, back below the red line to Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky to feed it out to Wren. He does. Back out towards the top, Thomas. Thomas put it into the corner. He is the team leader with 5 power play goals, a special teams force for these Orange. Unable to ring that one home. Wren snaps a stick, heads over to the bench to get a replacement as the Rams look to take opportunity to clear this. Duffy swiping at it. Vasilevsky puts it wide of Burgess. Right on the doorstep, but he couldn't ring the bell. Thomas through the broken stick. Less than 20 seconds to go on this power play. Thomas from Alvers, back to Alvers. Works it right point, now into the circle, back towards Thomas, the one-timer off target, and Burgess snatches the follow-up chance with his glove. Vasilevsky thought he was home free, but Burgess says no.
Wow, what a save by Callum Burgess. The first one on the shot from Ryan Thomas kicks it out. You get a look at it here, but the second one, what a glove save. You'll see it one more time, is just slowly getting up, but an unbelievable glove save. It was him versus Vasilevsky. You see it right there, one-timer, gets it to the net quickly. Callum Burgess staying perfect with another big save.
I would be seriously surprised if his hand does not have a bruise tomorrow morning from that, even though that mitt has a lot of padding on it. That had some heat from Vasilevsky.
That puck was wired and stepped into it, no hesitation. As Burgess now a little slow to get up, we hope that he's all right. He's down on one knee currently. Seems to be grimacing a bit.
4 seconds left on this power play for the Orange. Time for a face-off win and maybe a shot off of it. Burgess still skating around, trying to get feeling back in his hand. You can see he's got the mitt off. He's going to skate over to the bench, and no doubt the training staff on alert here.
Seemed like he was grabbing at his hamstring or his groin as well. Sometimes as a goalie, when you're going side to side, it puts so much stress on your hips, on your groin, all at the same time, that seemed like that's what he was grabbing at a little bit too, as well as, you mentioned, you noted he has his glove off on top of that, but kind of came up skating a bit awkwardly.
Burgess over towards his bench talking to head coach Joe Augustine. Nick Marangola warming up. The typically starting netminder for Rhode Island, ready to come in if he has to, and with Burgess loosening up his leg pads, it looks like he might. Joe Augustine, though, will have the final say. The head coach for Rhode Island in his 35th season helming the Rams. That goes back to 1989, and if you're going to have anybody as your bench boss, it's a guy like Augustine. He played 3 years in the AHL with the now defunct New Haven Nighthawks and Springfield Indians. He is the winningest coach in Rams athletics history, not just with hockey, any sport. 742 wins as of last night.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's more than a few, for certain.
He's getting up there, and in 35 years, just a successful program. You see how well coached they are. He's such a good job, such a calming presence. I think one of the biggest things just from our vantage point that you see is he looks the same no matter where they're at in the game. They score a goal, you wouldn't know it from Coach Augustine, and I think that's one of the benefits of being around this game for so long is he's such a calming presence on the bench for the Rams. And if you're a player, just having a coach back there that's been there, seen it all, and you see how he reacts, it kind of helps you calm down as well.
And I'll tell you, if you're a movie producer looking to make a film about his life and career, get Harrison Ford to play that role. It's almost a spitting image of the legendary actor. I think at least. I don't know about you.
No, I agree with you, and I think maybe if Harrison Ford ever needs somebody to play him in a documentary, get Coach Augustine.
We'll see what Brooke has to think as we send it down ringside.
Hey guys, it's It's Brooke Kilgore alongside our other ringside reporter, Sydney Chan, and we're going to take a second. We're going to back away from the hockey action behind us. If a goal happens, sorry about that. We're going to steal you away from it for just a second. Now, Sydney, we've got 5 seniors in the media booth and behind us on the bench who have made our experience possible. Awesome. It's been great. We have 2 broadcasters you've been listening to all night, Caleb Spinner and Jackson Cowan. Caleb Spinner spent his time at The Ohio State University, really pursuing broadcasting. We're excited to see what he does in his career. How about
Absolutely.
Jackson?
And Jackson played club hockey at NC State all 4 years, brings a ton of experience and analysis to our color broadcast, so yeah.
For our game day operations staff, we have Griffin Stark and Hunter Kuchenbauer. Bauer is not here, unfortunately. They traded semesters being the director of game day operations, but Griffin is behind us. One of our favorite memories about Griffin is during Military Appreciation Day, he went out to help the acapella team and slipped in front of everybody. It was a little dramatic, but we love Hunter.
Griffin and Hunter for keeping us all on track, making sure our team runs smoothly. We really appreciate you.
And then finally on PA tonight, for the first time, senior Chris Schroyer, who I had the opportunity to work with at Citrus TV.
Absolutely.
We want to take the time to thank all 5 of them for their experience. We're going to miss you guys. Caleb and Jackson, back to you.
I promise when I sent that down to her, I did not know that was what the hit was going to be on. We are not, we are humble individuals, Jackson and I. I do not need that kind of praise on the air. I promise you that was not planned. But that being said, thank you to Sydney, thank you to Brooke, thank you to Arnav and everybody here at SU Men's Hockey who's made us feel welcome since game 1 all the way back to those preseason exhibitions against Clarkson and even media day before that.
Yeah, I remember my first phone call with Arnav. He found out that I played club hockey. He's like, hey, I'd love to have you. And it's been so much fun ever since with Arnav, with you, with everybody that's been involved, Sydney and Brooke as well, and just some great memories here.
Well, now see, you have me jealous because I wasn't recruited to be here. I asked to be a part of this. Now I feel less than, you know. But anybody would be standing next to former Aja All-Star Jackson Cowan.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I think the bigger thing was I asked a little later, and then he found out after that I had some experience playing hockey. So I don't know if we're calling me an All-Star. That's a bit of an overstatement.
They're going to retire that number 4 jersey here in a few years at NC State for the Ice Pack. Couple good looks for the Orange down in front of Burgess, who remains in after spending some time dealing with a hand that took a blast from Vasilevsky, enough to where he had to take the mitt off. Hutchinson, in the middle of a change, didn't realize the puck was down at his skate. Fans were yelling to him, as was the coaching staff, to react and at least push that along before he went into the reserves. Syracuse in their own end handling with just over 9 minutes to play in regulation, down 2-0 to these Rams.
Smart by Sam Hutchinson. Jack Wren had already jumped over the bench, so if Hutchinson had intentionally played that puck, likely would have been a penalty. If it just bounces off him, it's fine. It's not going to be a penalty, but if he intentionally plays that once Wren has jumped over the boards, the Orange could have been a man down.
8:55 to play here in the third period. Syracuse running out of time to cut back into this 2-goal lead. Started with a goal in the second period rather. That was the first of these 2. And then one earlier in this frame, both of them coming off the same stick, that being of Kevin Knassett. Knassett also had an assist against Syracuse on December 6th. That was when the Rams were hosting the Orange in the final road series for Syracuse of the 2024 year. Duffy through the near circle, trying to center it towards Wren. Puck loose on the doorstep, worked out towards the slot, and now the Rams clear it out of their zone. Ethan Cordiero with it on the backhand. And he lost it as he worked in towards Spano. Wren had his feed taken away. Hall still trying to handle it for the Rams, getting some control. Between the dots, Wren taking a swipe at it to try to clear the zone. He does not. The Rams right there on him. And now finally Vasilevsky will wrap it around the boards towards Wren. Picked up by Szabo. Scotia over 8 minutes to play here in the period, as Duffy levels a big hit towards Shaw that knocks down the near side linesman. Vasilevsky working it across the center red line, now in across offensive blue, turns one high again. We've seen that movie a few times. The Orange walking in with some speed and just putting it high of the net.
I think Vasilevsky had one earlier that looked like it hit the crossbar earlier this period. That one just sails high, but Orange continuing, and you got to hit the net there, especially as time starts to dwindle down. Those rims, they turn into breakouts for Rhode Island. So not only is it not even a shot on net, but all of a sudden the team in blue has an opportunity to escape the other way with possession.
By my count, that's now 5 opportunities that have started with zone entries on the near side and then tried to go left circle. And right there, Ryan Williams scores. 6 opportunities towards the glove side. Finally, one strikes home, and the Orange are back within 1.
We talked about it earlier, Caleb. He had the goal against Clarkson, hasn't scored in the regular season. That one came in an exhibition, but the defenseman looking like a goal scorer there. You see it. He jumps down in the play, finds the rebound, stays away from traffic, gets the Orange back within 1.
First regular season goal of his Orange career. Ryan Williams coming up when his team needs him to most. Just over 7 minutes to go in the third period of now a 1-goal game as the Rams lead 2-1 over the Orange. Ryan Williams remains on the ice. He goes chasing into the near corner, tying up a Rams defender. It was Chase Gaudioso who was trying to skate away with it. Now, speaking of skating away, here comes Connor Chesner, working it low on his backhand, trying to wrap it around behind Burgess. He was picked off by the defense in front. Williams still has it, or rather Alvers this time. Williams is over towards the bench. He was skating for a change when the Orange entered the zone. Thomas comes off from the reserves. Down below the red line, loose puck picked up by the Rams, worked out towards the slot and now clearing the zone. Hutchinson goes back to his own ice to play this out. Up the near wall, Alvers touches it along, putting it into the corner where Gaffney goes patrolling. Up through the slot, loose puck, picked up by Gaffney, trying to work his way towards Burgess, but Burgess able to hug the post, and then the net comes off to stop us with just over 6:13 to go in the period. Almost a tying goal there from Gaffney, if not for the save from Burgess.
Caleb, momentum's a funny thing because Ryan Williams gets the goal. Next thing you know, Anthony Larkin, Tanner Cole, who hasn't played much in this one, and Aiden Emery are all up on the bench, banging their sticks, banging their gloves. The Orange start to buzz, and then Ryan Thomas, Sean Caddo keep a few plays alive the shift prior. Next thing you know, Cam Gaffney right alone in front, just couldn't get it past Burgess, but the Orange, they're buzzing now.
The Rams trying to clear their zone. Syracuse looking to capitalize on some recent momentum. Almost a save there with his mitt. Keeps it out of the net, but puts the rebound into the corner where Wren goes poking. Shane Mulhern moves it along towards the far side of the ice. Ryan Thomas breaks that up, but only for a second. A big collision right at the blue line. Duffy putting McKinnon on his back.
Brendan Duffy is a heat-seeking missile when he wants to run somebody over. He kind of got bumped in the corner, never able to complete the hit, and you saw that as soon as the puck came out to center ice. We're going to get a penalty here. He turned, found the puck carrier, and just buried him with a nice, clean hit.
Ryan Thomas sent down to the sheet in retaliation. A hit that drew the attention of the officials and is going to send Ethan Cordiero to the box. Syracuse on a very important power play here in crunch time. Just minutes, maybe 2, after they score their first goal of the game. Everything coming up Orange as of recently.
So far, they haven't found a goal against Rhode Island on the power play, but I think the last one was their best opportunity so far in the season series. And I think for the Orange, if they continue to move the puck quickly and go rink wide, they will have time.
Wren got a stick on it at the right point, but was not able to stop the clear. It looked like that was a high sticking call.
Yep,
waiting for the whistle there.
Jack ran all the way down in the offensive zone, just reached up. Nice hand-eye coordination. I'd like to see him just let that one go. They can go skate down. Now you have to win a face-off and take possession, but either way, they would have to break out.
That whistle came on the right side of the ice after my eyes had already left, tracking the puck down there. Credit to Jack McCormick, one of the scratches, who saw that call, saw my confusion and then cleared it up with what I didn't see.
Not the only good thing. He had his first point of his career yesterday.
Yep,
So
I did promise him I would shout that out. We'll talk more about that here in a second, but Syracuse with a minute 18 to go on the power play. Chesner handling, moves it over to his left side. Duffy fires one in, and it's saved with the glove by Burgess. J-Mac on the assist in Syracuse's second goal of the game yesterday, that 5-2 loss. He did tell me pregame, he says he had another point at Rhode Island earlier this season, which was technically his first official collegiate point, but it wasn't recorded. This one, according to the ACHA website, is in there in the box score. It's legit, no arguing about it. First career point of his college time here at Syracuse for Jack McCormick. We congratulate him. And no, it's only the first of many more to come in an orange sweater. Rhode Island with an opportunity shorthanded here, under a minute to go on the penalty clock. Syracuse skating 5-on-4. The Rams had a good look before Alvers came in. The forward playing like a defenseman on that opportunity. Another clear for the Rams with just over 4 minutes to play in regulation. Ryan Thomas, a drop pass picked up by Alvers. Alvers out of the zone ahead to Thomas. Thomas, the power play goal leader for these Orange. He's got all 5 of their team 5 on the season. Tells you how valuable he is on special teams. Just a freshman too. He's got plenty more action with Syracuse. Final 10 seconds on the Orange power play. One more opportunity. Looks like they might just spend the rest of this in their own zone, having trouble breaking out. They eventually get it to Cook. Cook off the wall as the penalty expires. 5-on-5 once again. The Rams kill yet another penalty. Syracuse 0 for 3. Under 3.5 minutes to play in regulation. Cook handles over to Gargurovich. Gargurovich through blue sweaters into the near circle, takes it below the dot, around behind Burgess in the net, looking for some help. Feeds it over to the left point. Von Tersch wraps it around behind to Pendergrass. Pendergrass tried to move it over to Cook. Cook took a shot, but the puck was not on his stick. It moved out towards Skolnick, who fires one in. Left pad save by Burgess. Skolnick at the right point. Puts it into the slot. Cook guides it along. Gargurovich back for just a second before Gold took over. Through the neutral zone, skates Sabo. Sabo fired one in, just saved by Spano. Owen Hall moves it out towards the point, where it's wrapped down low again by Michael Lucasi. Loose in the slot, worked out of the zone by Gargurovich. He turns on the Jets, but he's beaten to the puck by Ronan Judge. Judge up the near wall, too much on that. Icing against the Rams. Aiden Darlington couldn't get to it in time to avoid the stoppage.
This is when you start looking, maybe Chris Spano will head to the bench. We'll see what Coach Timmons says, but likely going to go to the bench. You got the big dogs out there. They're putting Thomas and Chesner out as a D pair together, and then you have Alvers, Hutchinson, and Gaffney out there. So you got to think if they win the face-off pretty quickly, Chris Spano already looking to the net, you got to think he'll come pretty quick.
Keeping an eye on Spano to see when he will leave. Puck on the other side of the ice. Ryan Thomas into the slot, guides it into the corner. Still no movement from Spano in the net. Final 2 minutes of regulation. Syracuse trails Rhode Island by a score of 2-1. Chesner turns one in, sticked away not by the netminder Burgess, but by the defenseman Owen Hall. The Rams able to clear. Spano taking a look towards the bench. Still has not gone over there to get the extra skater alive for the Orange. Still looking with a minute and a half to play in the period and the game. Unless Syracuse is able to poke one home, Spano is officially clear. 6-on-5 for Syracuse with the empty net. Desperation time for the Orange. In the near slot, handling, trying to work it out towards the point is Alvers. Chesner is sitting there and waiting. He finally gets it. Rugg turns one in, or rather Thomas. Thomas is blocked away. Hutchinson corrals the rebound, gets it back to Thomas. Was not ready for that return feed from Thomas right in front. Gaffney denied. with a prime opportunity in front. Thomas unable to keep it alive across the blue line. Final minute of the regulation period. 2-1, the Rams ahead of the Orange. Final opportunity for Syracuse. Thomas unable to glove that down. Goes out towards Chesner between the blue lines before the Orange get it back down towards Ram ice. Ready for a flick. Syracuse was there for it. Duffy now working it in front of the penalty boxes. Half a minute to go. Duffy fires one high of the crossbar yet again. Duffy's had a few good opportunities that have just went too far north. Vasilevsky picks it up in his own end with 20 seconds to play. Ahead to Duffy at the red line. Now Gaffney. Gaffney through traffic to Thomas. Thomas still loose. The Rams swiping at it. They'll come away with it. Kevin Knassett trying to clear it. He gets it out to the neutral zone where Cordiero puts it into orange ice. Final 5 seconds. Thomas backhands it towards Burgess. He won't put it on net. And the Rams survive a late rush from the Orange to get the series sweep, winning Game 2 by a final of 2-1. Syracuse will head next weekend towards Scranton to start the ESCHL tournament. We will have coverage of that one on the SU Hockey Network, both over the radio and visually, bringing a camera to Scranton to cover the first postseason berth for the Orange since the 2019-2020 campaign. For our entire production crew, Josh Solomon, Sydney Chan, Brooke Kilgore, Jackson Cowan, I'm Caleb Spinner for one final time at the tip this season. Thanks so much for joining us all year long at the Tennedy Ice Pavilion. Stay tuned for our senior night festivities coming to you next here on the SU Hockey Network. But until then, that's the game. We're out of here.